Girly Pops. It's the new Allie coming to you, and we are really excited for today's episode. We are going to be talking about Taylor buying her master's back, but we have a fun twist for it. We're gonna match it to our favorite books that we think match each album, and then we are also gonna do the Wicked trailer because Sydney and I both absolutely went insane when that came out. We were in separate places. We might have footage of me actually sobbing and a picture of Sydney sobbing. It's all so good. And then we're also gonna do the Stranger Things trailer. So yeah. How about we get into Stranger Things first? Because I feel like
But
Wicked we'll talk about for a while.
yes,
But okay. Initial thoughts. What do you think?
I'm just so excited. Like, I think the trailer is just like, it just like gave me goosebumps. Like, I like watched it and I was like, yeah, this is exactly like what we needed. And like, I am so ready to be spooked again. I am so ready to like, I'm just so ready to be back into it. But yeah, what do
I,
you think?
I totally agree. It's one of my like favorite shows, and so I'm so excited for it to come back, but I'm so sad for it to end. Um, it's been like by the time it comes out, I think it'll be nearly 4 years since the last
Yeah,
season, which
literally.
is just insane when you think about it. But like, I guess it pays off because they're always really good seasons.
Right.
But like the teaser was like a minute long to
Yeah.
Doom, which also to Doom just gave us so much.
Oh my God.
Like
So much. I'm so ready.
Wednesday, I'm drawing a blank, but a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, like it looks so good. I'm not sure all the characters are gonna make it out alive, especially heavy on Will or Eleven. Uh, do you think who's your prediction of who might not make it?
Uh, I think Mr. Oh my God, the oh my God, what's his name? Mike's dad. I don't think Mike's
I've
dad.
been seeing theories about that.
I've been seeing a lot of theories about that, and I'm like, yeah, like so true, because like literally, what is that man doing? But
No, seriously.
other than him, I think Will's gonna die because I think Will really is the last connection to the upside down. Like he was like a product of the upside down, and like as a result, like I think for Hawkins to be severed from the upside down, I think like Will is like the last vessel that like needs to be like cut, unfortunately.
Like
So
a
I think it's gonna be
Horcrux.
him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I kind of agree with you. I've seen the thing about Mike's dad. I've seen a lot of people think Mike might not make it.
Really?
Yeah. But then there was also that leak of what was supposedly not like the final scene, but the final thing they shot for the show, and Mike's in it. So I don't know if they shot
Yeah.
chronologically or what, but he was there. So I don't know.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
um also Nancy and Jonathan aren't in the trailer at all, which makes me worried.
Oh no. Everyone's like, if anything happened to them, I would be so mad. I would be so
Oh
pissed.
my God.
So
Yeah,
pissed.
and no, for real. I I really think Hopper's safe because like why would they kill him off
Yeah.
after season 3 and season four's story? I think Eleven's probably safe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep going back and forth on that one. Max, I hope they like bring Sadie. I hope like the first episode ends with like Max waking up because if Sadie Sink's like in the bed the whole time, that's gonna be kind of suck.
It's crazy. And I love
Yeah.
thing. So
Oh, for sure. Also, have you seen the theory? I'll have to like look it up to go more in detail, but what's her there's a theory that Vecna might be like the little girl that supposedly died in the Henry Creel house might be Mike's mom. And it
oh,
actually makes a lot of sense.
whoa.
Yeah. I'll
Whoa.
have to yeah, I should have looked it up, but I remember seeing it a couple months ago. And then when I was doing the like breakdown reel for Real Talk, um, I found more of it, and I think it like is gaining more traction. So apparently
Mm,
someone did the math, and like I think the time frame lines up of like her age versus when she would have been a little girl in that. And then
uh,
people were like really like wondering why Karen, the mom, had a like character poster in season 4 when she maybe had like one scene and
right.
was on press. And then for season 5 it looks like it's the same thing. And then there was like really like substantial theories. I just can't remember what it is that connect to
Yeah,
it. But I'm kind of obsessed with that because that would make it even more like personal if
right?
like yeah, and it'd just be a fun like creepy twist,
I
which
would
I
love that.
right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So that's about all the thoughts I have. I'm very curious about the 3-part release, especially them being on holiday. What do you think of
Yeah.
that?
I think that's me. It's me like so funny, like being at Christmas and being like, okay, like, should I go watch now? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Like,
mean?
hey, this was
But
great, guys, but a show I've been
yeah,
waiting for 5 years.
literally
Just
for 5 years, like, just
yeah.
like I'm gonna need you to wait. But no, but I'm excited. I saw this thing like if you start watching Stranger Things like one episode a day on October 23rd, you could rewatch the whole series before the release. And I'm like, wait, like that's so smart. Like if you
I
just do
might
one
do that.
day, I'm thinking I might
Yeah.
do that because I'm like,
We
wait.
could do like a when we come back for like each podcast leading up to it, we do like a weekly
Yes,
recap. And we're
I
like,
love that.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Also, I've seen like people think so much of like the past is gonna have to play a part in the final season.
Yeah.
Like especially how they showed like flashbacks and stuff for most of the teaser.
Totally.
Um so yeah, if we did like a rewatch, we could like make predictions as we go.
Yes. I'm so
Yeah.
in.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
But okay, I think that's about all we had for Stranger Things. They
Yeah.
didn't, I mean, it was a
It's quick.
short teaser,
It's quick.
but it gave us everything we needed.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for the final season, but I'm so scared for the final season. So,
Same.
okay, now I would love to hear your experience of seeing Wicked
Oh
in the theater again, but
God.
then the Wicked trailer playing after it, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
It
yeah.
was everything I needed and more. It was so painful, but so beautiful. I literally, just like you, Allie, like started sobbing like, immediately. Like as soon as that glass shattered, I was sobbing. Like literally, like it happened so quick, but it was oh my God, it was just so good. And like they played it like right when Defying Gravity like ended, like the last note, and then it went straight into the trailer.
Oh my
No
God. Talk
credits or
about fun.
anything. Like it was just like whiplash. Like it was crazy. But I loved it. I'm like genuinely so excited. No Good Deed is like one of my favorite songs from the musical. So like hearing that, I was like, oh my God. And then
It's
obviously For Good. And like ah, they're just so cute together. Like Alpha Throp, I know you're out here. Like I was like, get with y'all. And the cyclone. I didn't even
just
notice
like,
on the first watch because I was just so like blown back. And then you said it in your video, and I was like, oh my God, you're so right. Like literally, like I was just like there was so much to focus on. And then the other thing that really stood out to me was when Glinda's running in her pink dress from the bubble scene with the grimoire. I was just like putting that in the trailer, I think was like such an interesting choice, but I
right?
think it
People,
worked really well. Yeah.
I I didn't notice that part until you pointed it out. Uh,
Yeah.
and I've been trying my hardest to not spoil Wicked for Good to like
Yeah.
Kelsey, for example, hasn't seen it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so like every time I was seeing stuff, I was like, I need to be careful about what I repost.
Right,
I was
exactly.
like,
Because it's
I
like,
would,
ah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, I would hate to spoil like, oh, this is who this person is for someone or something. But
Right.
yeah, or but yeah, it was so good. I you texted it was out, and then like simultaneously, Kate texted me that it was out. And I was just chilling. I thought it was coming out. I had looked up like what time it was supposed to drop, and whatever I saw on the internet was wrong by like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was out yet.
Yeah.
And uh I ran to my computer, and we need to insert the photo of you crying and
Yes.
then the snippet
Yes.
of me like
Yes, we
it
will.
was so funny.
Yeah.
But No Good Deed is one of my favorites as well.
So
And the second I heard the little riffs of it, like, oh
oh,
my God.
yeah.
Like, also, I think I caught a new song in there for a second.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people think that could be a part of No Good Deed, but like I was trying to think and I
Yeah.
really can't place it to any part of No Good Deed.
I think because also John Cho has previously like hinted that there will be new music for the second one. And so I was like, oh, love the cup.
Mm.
So I was like, I think that was like a little like hint at what's coming.
No, for real. I've heard the composer and like lyricist for the it might be for the original musical. I don't know if he's involved. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll look that up, but I think he's involved in the movie as well. Um, Said that there is at least two new songs and for each woman and uh Ariana and Cynthia had a hand in like helping create the songs. So,
Whoa.
that's gonna be good. Yeah.
Okay, that's me crazy.
Yeah, but I think they did give us a snippet of Cynthia's song. Also, the Wicked Witch's style upgrade looks so good.
Bruh, she looks so good in her hair.
Her hair looks amazing.
And they showed, oh my God. Sorry, this is like so off topic of what we were just saying.
Oh yeah.
But them showing like Dorothy with the silver heels.
Yeah.
I was gagged. I was gagged.
No,
Ripped neck
same.
of the
And they
road.
showed the Cowardly Lion, and
Oh,
I wonder, okay, because in the original, in the musical, they never show Dorothy. You see like her like
yeah.
silhouette when everything goes down. I wonder if they're gonna try their best to not show Dorothy, or if they are gonna show Dorothy, because so many people are wondering who's playing her, and there's like
I
already
know.
theories of that little girl who was in that vampire movie. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, yes, yes,
Playing
yes.
her, but
Yeah.
yes, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could see them doing it either way.
Right? Because in the
Yeah,
trailer, they don't show it whatsoever. And I'm like,
yeah. I
ah,
have heard a rumor and I tried to catch a good look at it,
yeah.
but it's just such quick shots. I really couldn't tell that Ariana Grande's dog Toulouse might be playing Toto.
That's so
That'd be
cute.
the cutest
I
thing.
love
I mean, there's
that.
like no
Oh,
substantial evidence to
yeah.
support it. It's just Ariana Grande fan accounts are
Ariana.
like, I'm pretty sure that's Toulouse.
Yeah.
But that would be the cutest thing because
That's
in the
so
video,
cute.
like the Zoom recording of when Ariana found out she was playing Glinda, when like John M. she was gonna tell her, the whole time Ariana's yelling at like Toulouse, going like, Toulouse, Toulouse, shut up.
Yeah,
And that would be so funny.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my God. Also, like, what did you think about Ariana in the wedding dress?
Okay, that I am wondering if okay, because correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure. Okay, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Wicked on stage, part two, especially, um, they don't get married, right? Aren't they just engaged?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
what
I
I'm
wonder that would make it even messier if they're like
saying.
fully married.
Because
I
they
saw
show like a what maybe it's like a dream sequence, like as part of
maybe.
like her reminiscence. But I was like, I don't think so. Like it's like why would you
Yeah.
make a whole wedding for a dream,
Yeah, literally.
you know? So
Literally. Maybe it's like, how they both have their version of I'm not that girl. Maybe they're like weird
that's why I was just thinking
imaginative
that.
things. I don't know. But also I saw the funniest meme where it was like Jonathan Bailey keeps getting himself in situations where he marries a girl that
The
doesn't want to
wrong
marry.
girl.
Yeah. It's so obvious to everyone.
So and everyone else is like, what are you doing, bro? Like so funny. So funny.
No. Also, I screamed when they show the clip of Firo turning the weapon on the on someone else. 'Cause
Right?
that seems like such a big moment, and I was like, "Wow, I can't believe they showed it." But like,
I
I
know.
guess if you know the context, you don't know. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, um, oh my God, Ariana's blue dress.
So good.
It is so
Stunning.
beautiful. I might argue I like it more than the pink
I
dress.
agree. I agree.
So pretty.
So pretty.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, some people weren't happy when the original one came out or Wicked came out last year and Glinda's dress wasn't that blue dress that's in the play, which like guys, it's still a beautiful dress, like it's fine. But I do like that they gave her these two dresses. Like you have the blue dress that I'm sure will be in the majority of For Good, but then she goes
Yeah.
into that pink dress that's like so iconic. But I really want like a museum exhibit. I think they had one in Dallas this year.
Ooh.
But I want to have like a full like at the Met or something, and they have every single costume just like
Ah,
on display. And I'd love to go look at them
that
for
would
like
be
hours.
so cool.
Yeah. Trying to think. I think there's definitely added, if there's added songs, there has to be added scenes
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Especially like the wedding. I think there's definitely going to be some like new stuff because the wedding, like, it's also hard to say the wedding is a dream sequence though, because literally Alphaba comes and sees her when she's in her wedding dress. Alpha,
Literally,
throw up. I know you're out there. So it's like,
literally. Also, um, I'm trying to think of because the way they like show Dorothy in the play,
yeah,
it's like I remember at one point Glinda like a scene starts and Glinda's like waving off stage and she's like, yeah, just keep following that road or whatever.
yeah,
Like I wonder how I'm really interested to see how they integrate like yeah, the Wizard of Ozness of it all
yeah, right.
into like the screen production of
Yeah,
Wicked. Because I feel like they could do more, but also I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do more and they were like, no, this isn't Dorothy's story. Like we're
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know.
Well,
But
I'm so excited.
okay, like I obviously it'd be fun to see Dorothy, but
Yeah.
I really want it to be true that Ariana Grande's dog is Toto. I was
Right? Yes. Yeah. Too good. Too good.
okay, my only substantial thing to back that up. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Um, I noticed Dorothy is carrying, I'm pretty sure in actual Wizard of Oz, Toto's just like free range running around, like he's not on a leash.
Yeah.
This dog's on a leash. So maybe the dog they use doesn't have the best training for filming.
But they were like, let's make it work.
So Dorothy will have him on a leash. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Don't
Okay.
have Juice to hear this and be like, oh my God, they figured it out.
They figured it out. Like they know. They know too much. Yeah.
Okay, but ending thoughts on Wicked. Do we have anything else we want to say?
Oh my gosh. I'm just so excited. Like genuinely, like I
Okay.
still can't even wrap my head around what we've seen. So I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. It comes out. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to say. Wicked and the first couple episodes of Stranger Things come out within the same week.
Yeah.
I I sent that to you guys and I
Like
was like,
in
hey, so
in rotation.
yeah, it's like, hey, so someone's gonna have to check on me that week.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna be overload.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're so excited. Obviously, we'll do a Wicked breakdown, our
Oh,
reaction when it comes out. And I'm
okay.
sure there's gonna be more trailers and things
Oh,
leading up to it. We need to do, I don't remember if we did this, but we need to do like a full um like press tour outfit breakdown. Because I hope they go all out again like they did.
right.
So that'd be fun.
Exactly. So,
But now we can get into a fun idea we had. Taylor Swift bought back her master.
yeah,
So
she did.
congrats. Congrats.
Congrats, Queen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, people are like kind of mad about what she said about Reputation, and I was like, I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's her reputation. And then they like if she is gonna release it, it does like it was coming out of a place of like where she like it was like out of necessity almost or like out of like
Yeah.
vengeance. But like now she just wants to do it out of a place of growth. And I think that's like fair. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she doesn't end up doing it, I would understand. Also, like those songs about I love the memes, like them being like Joe Alwyn, like I also would not want to sing about this man. And like yeah, like that's fair.
Or
So
like I think like he took like a huge breath of relief when he heard that
right.
Reputation.
And when you ready to oh thank God. Oh thank God. So yeah, I agree.
Um, I I think the way I interpreted it is I'm not sure if we'll ever get Reputation TV, but it does sound like she has at least the intentions for now of releasing some vault
Right.
tracks from that. Which,
Yeah.
in my opinion, the most fun part about
That's the
getting
part.
Taylor versions are getting the vault songs, a new
Yeah.
song.
That's what we're looking
So
for.
yeah, that's what I look forward to at
Yeah.
least. So yeah, that also makes so much sense why like the only song we've heard in like two different shows, Handmaid's Tale, and then like a year or two ago, some random show's first episode or first trailer had Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor's version.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes so much sense why that's the only rep song
Yeah.
that's
The only
seen the
song
most.
I've gotten.
Yeah, yeah. And I even agree with Taylor's letter when she was like, "Oh, it just doesn't have that same angst and anger that I had when I released it." Because like if you
Yeah.
listen to the new Look What You Made Me Do, you just don't hear that anger.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Okay, we thought I saw this thing on Instagram where a different person did this and we loved the idea. So we're gonna do matching books to each
Yeah.
Taylor Swift album.
And we read so similar that I'm like so curious to see like
Oh,
where
for
we
sure.
like line up, but I'm
Yeah.
excited.
No, for sure. I also was struggling to come up with three for each.
And that's okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
I only have about two, maybe for each. Also, full transparency, I couldn't think of one for debut. But um I think you probably have some to make up for it. So we'll be fine.
I got
Yeah.
you. You slay. Well, for debut, I said, I think the first one, The Summer I Turned Pretty, because
Ah,
it's so like that young love and like just that vibe. And then I also said Every Summer After for the same reason because like
I thought of that one.
yes, but also like a lot of like reminiscing and then also like just like that idea that like the same people like follow you throughout your life, I think is very debut. And so that one I said, and then I also said Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Just because like that book by her is just I think like her most like cutesy romance and it's also very just like they're just like he's just so in love with her and I think in debut that's like a really big thing like for like I feel like our song is very part of your world.
Ooh, I haven't read an Abby Jimenez book yet, but
Me too.
you're a huge fan and
I
I've
know.
heard good things, so I want to check it out. Okay, I had considered Every Summer After for this one, but I couldn't remember major plot points that well of that one, so I ended up not putting it, but I would agree Every Summer After for sure. Um, Fearless T or just Fearless in general, that's where I put The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Okay, love.
Yeah,
Let's go back
yeah.
and forth and I see that.
Yeah. I think I don't know, something about like or like the scene where Belly and Jeremiah are in the pool, like that's so
Yeah.
in a storm in my best dress fearless type vibe to me.
Yeah.
But also Don't You
Yeah.
reminds me so much of her and Conrad.
That's the way I loved you.
That's you're so right. You're
Also teenage
so
anger,
right.
like yeah.
Yeah. And so I saw that one. Also for Fearless. Okay, I also am gonna say I added some repeaters throughout this. So this
Okay.
isn't the only place I saw this book, but um funny story I saw in Fearless.
Woo,
Yeah.
yes. I like that.
Yeah. It kind of gave Fearless vibes to me, just that I don't know. What I liked about Funny Story, it wasn't as heavy as a lot of the other Emily Henry
Yeah.
books. I mean, it definitely had its sad parts,
Yeah.
but I saw so much of like that fun, like young kind of puppy love energy between
Yeah.
them, and that's what Fearless reminds me of.
Love.
So, yeah.
Love. Well, I said Better Than the Movies because by Lynn Painter because it's very much about like that teenage love and I also love the idea that like it tells the story in rom-coms and I feel like Love Story, White Horse is like telling love like through like a fairy tale kind of perspective and so I felt like that kind of like resonated and like just that like emotional like I feel like debut is like teenage love and then Fearless like takes it to like a much deeper level and that's like kind of
Yeah.
what Better Than the Movies versus like The Summer I Turned Pretty. So that's why I put those ones.
Ooh, okay.
And then Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I put this one here because it's all about like, you know, like you start in like you grew up in this small town, but then you grow up beyond it. But like when you go back, there's still so much of yourself and your roots there. And that is where Nora ends up finding love and Charlie finds love. And so like I just felt like that was very fearless energy. Um,
Ooh, okay.
and then I also put this book called The Unhoneymooners. It's by Christina
I
Lauren.
want to read that one.
Yes, it's so good. I love that one. It's such a fun one. And that
Okay.
one's just very much the way you love me. Like it's just very much like enemies to lovers and like just so much anger for one another, but also like they just can't help, I feel like, but be magnetic towards one another. And so that's where I put that.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I've started Book Lovers. I need to finish Book Lovers, but I was really tempted just based off of the general vibe I've had of it so far of placing it somewhere,
Yeah.
but like I read like three chapters. So I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
I'll leave
You're like,
it out.
maybe we'll hold,
I
but
was like,
I feel
I'll
you.
leave it out. But okay, I like that for
Yeah.
sure. And then I want to read The Honeymooners so
So good.
bad.
So
Like
good.
I've heard nothing but good things. Okay. For Speak Now, I put Happy Place. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, I saw some of that angst
Mhm.
was there
Yeah.
in that story. And then oh, there was a certain song that I had um oh, like Last Kiss seemed so
Oh, yeah.
Happy Place coded. Like how it goes back and forth and it's like, oh, so I'll watch your life in pictures now and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there were other songs I couldn't think. Oh, Speak Now, like the actual song,
Yeah.
when, spoiler alert, at the end of the book, when Harriet's like running through the airport,
Yeah.
that gave such Speak Now vibes to me. Um,
Oh,
and then I also put One True Loves. I don't know if you've read that one, but it's the Taylor Jenkins
yeah.
Reid one. We
Yeah.
watched the really, really questionable movie version of it that Emily and I were like really embarrassed we made everyone turn on.
Well, I want to see it just as badly, and it
And then
was.
we were like, what did they do? But the book One True Loves is so good.
It is.
And yeah, you should read the book for sure, but that there's so much sadness and angst in that book of her trying to like deal with the past and then the present. And then you see kind of the middle part of that. I think it's very Speak Now coded to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
For Speak Now, I actually put a funny story here. And that's just because, like, again, like, I think it's like that past relationship versus your present one, like, kind of like that, like,
Yeah.
dichotomy of that. I also feel like Better Than Revenge is just so funny. And, like, just the way that Miles and Daphne, like, joke together about their exes, like, getting
I
back to
I
them,
love
I think
that.
it's so that.
Yeah.
And also, like, when I was reading it, I just was so picturing Enchanted, like, being the song they dance to in the dance scene
But
because just the second they see each other, like there's just so instantly you can feel that connection. I just felt like that was very enchanted. So I put that as on there. And then I also put Abby Jimenez's another one, just for the summer. That
yes.
was her last year's release. And I just feel like that one again is like how the past kind of haunts your present, but like that love is like still there. Like she is dealing the main character with a lot of issues with like her mom having grown up being like very abandoning and like
Yeah.
that kind of affects her present relationship. And I feel like Speak
Yeah.
Now is kind of all about like looking at how like you're growing up and like your past like does influence that. And so I felt like those two fit really well.
I like that. I would also like to throw in It's Not Summer Without You is very Speak Now coded to me.
Yes, yes,
Obviously, the show had a lot of Speak Now TV in it,
yeah,
but that just popped in my head. Like that,
yeah,
I feel like Speak Now is like the epitome of angst, and that
yeah,
one was like the angstiest of that too. But I
exactly.
like those picks.
Thank
Uh,
you.
for Red, I have We'll Always Have Summer for obvious reasons. Red
Oh,
is the
yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
Um, and then I also put Happy Place here.
Ooh,
Uh,
okay, love.
yeah, because I feel like Red is about confronting all the good and bad of your relationships, and you're kind of in that point of like trying to move on, and Happy Place definitely has that vibe. And then I wanted to throw in, this might be a wild card. I really don't know the reasoning. I just like I felt it connected to it. It's Daisy Jones and the Six.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
love,
you.
love.
Okay, what'd you have for Red?
Well, I put Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
like very just like old Hollywood, that's obviously like a key theme in Red. And I also just feel like a lot of the
The lucky one.
relationships, yes, the lucky one. And then just like a lot of the relationships I feel like are very much like that kind of like Red, like there's just like it's a lot of like fast love, but it's like so deep and like so painful. I just felt like that was very Red. And then yours truly, I really see as Red, by Abby Jimenez. But I
Okay.
also see that one as The Archer on Lover, but I think as a vibe
Oh,
as a whole, it's more Red.
okay.
And then Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, which is kind of a crazy book to put on this list, I felt like.
I
But
bet
I
you
don't
think
know
about me.
why. I just think like All Too Well is just so Lucy and Cornelius. Like I just
I
think
like that.
I just see it. And like the snow falling at the end of All Too Well, like 10-minute version. I'm like, wait, the land
I
on
think
top. So kind of crazy pick, I feel like, but I was like, wait, I see it though.
I'm like visibly gagged.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Oh my God,
yeah.
I like that one.
Thank you.
I think you have a future as a music supervisor if you ever decided.
This is the twin flame. Yeah, exactly.
Also, just like I bet you think about me, that could be like a something that plays every time
Yeah.
Katniss or isn't there's a bear girl in the Haymitch book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
One word of
uh yeah. Okay, I love those. Those are good. Okay.
you.
1999.
Okay.
I still need to finish the series, but the Magnolia Park series.
Okay, I had this there too.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
our
Our
first
first
official connection.
crossover.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And then I threw in a memoir, Everything I Know About Love.
Ooh, I see that. I like that. I like that a
It's
lot.
especially, I mean, Magnolia Park's like obvious reasons, that socialite city vibe, but like Everything I Know About Love is so much like it's very like New Romantics coded to me too.
Yeah.
Like it's very much about your friendships, and that era is so friendship coded as well. And yeah, that'll always make me think of Everything I Know About Love.
Wait, okay, I love that.
Thanks.
For mine, I put okay, so obviously Magnolia Parks, and then I put Happy Place here. So this is actually where I placed Happy Place, by Emily Henry.
Ooh.
Because I just felt like, I don't know, like I just felt like for some reason, like I was really like struggling with where to put Happy Place, and then 1989 just like spoke to me. Like I think like Out of the Woods, and it's almost like very much like I feel like their love, like they're the ones keeping each other apart, and I think like it's their themselves are the ones that are like hurting each other, and like it's just like very, I don't know, like I feel like 1999 is very much like that,
Giving,
like it hurts to love someone. And it's
yeah.
like I think like 1989 does a great job of like showing like also like how your friends support you. And I think that's such a key theme of like Happy Place. But it's almost like they're doomed because of themselves. I think 1989 is very much about like self like inflicted pain in romance.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where I pulled that from.
I like that. Okay, this is like a Socratic seminar of Taylor's.
Right. Yes. Yes. We're like, it's because of this.
I think that's the episode title.
Yes, the Socratic Seminar, we match Taylor Swift books to songs. That's perfect. Oh,
I I think when you said that they were the two keeping each other apart, that reminds me of the line, and all you had to do is stay, when they were like, let me remind you, this is what
yes.
you wanted. Yeah, you were all
Yes.
I.
It's also
Yeah.
like very slut. It's very much like, is it
Yeah.
over now? Like the vault, I think also like
Yeah.
a happy place. Stay don't go. Like I think it's just all now that we
Yeah.
don't talk. Like it's all like those like same themes. And I think Harriet and I forget his name. Right.
Win.
When
Yeah.
are very much like that kind of dichotomy. It's like, but your miscommunication and like the way that you guys are deciding to go about this is what is keeping you apart.
This was
Um,
what we wanted.
exactly. And so
Yeah.
it's like, what's next?
Yeah. Now, Reputation, I only had one, if I'm being
Okay,
honest.
that's
And
fair.
it's
That's fair.
it's Evelyn Hugo.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
I I saw a lot of Reputation in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. First of all, her reputation was such a big part of her. And she was always struggling between like the Evelyn the world knew and the Evelyn she really was. And then I don't know, just something about Evelyn Hugo, like her confidence and everything, it just exudes Reputation to me.
And I mean, the colors, the themes, the vibes, I feel it. I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I feel like also
Yeah.
everyone who goes very dress coded
Mm-hmm.
and getaway car coded, I feel like.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh God. That just made me think. I mean, like you have to know what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah,
But I'm like,
no, you know.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for Reputation, I had first and foremost red, white, and royal blue. I
Ooh,
just feel like their romance is like very like no, it's very Reputation. It's very like end
yeah.
game. It's very much like he knows that he feels like he can't have this romance because of his family, because like
Mm,
obviously like being a royal, like he doesn't feel like he can be gay as well.
yeah.
But also like that idea of like I did something bad, like don't blame me, like just like really leaning in, like realizing like love like really is like he deserves happiness and he really goes on this journey, the one main character, to really learn that he does deserve love and happiness and support and like finding that outside of your family. And I think that's really hard for a lot of people. I also feel like they're very much like I'll wear his initial around my neck. Like I just feel like that's very much them coded. So that's who I put there. Um
Wait.
yeah, and then I also put Daisy Hates, which is the sequel to Magnolia
Ooh.
Parks. It's like
Yeah.
the second series, but it goes on like simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think Daisy Hates is just very much like her and oh, I forget her partner's name, but they're like very much
Yeah.
rap coded. Like very
Yeah.
like in my heart, but also like so toxic for one
Doesn't
another.
that one like
But
take
like
place in the mafia?
and yeah,
Yeah.
she like her brother is like the mafia head of London, and then like
Yeah.
she's like his sister, so she's like very involved in things. But like the other
Mm,
guy's like technically not in the mafia, but also like a little bit, but also like
whole
he
thing.
that's
Yeah.
himself. Like it's all very toxic, and I feel like Rap itself is not a toxic album, but I think the words in top in Reputation can be taken very toxic. And I
Yeah, I can
think
see that.
that's like because I hate like when people are like, "Oh, Rep's the toxic album." Like Reps inherently is not toxic. Like I think like
No, Rep's more of
Reputation,
a love
like
album
it's like
than
such
Lover.
a love album, but
Yeah.
I think that that love can be used very toxically. Like I think it is one that can be applied very toxically, and so I do see Rep for them. And then I also put Beach Read as Reputation, and like maybe that's crazy of me, but
Okay.
that's kind of what I see for them. Like
Okay.
I don't know why, but I just see Gus in January very much as like Reputation coded. Like, yeah, I don't know why, but something just told me to put them there, and I did.
Yay. I like that's kind of what Daisy Jones and the Six happened for me. I was like, I don't know,
Yeah,
but like it belongs there. Maybe.
yeah, that's fair. Fair.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, for Lover, I had Every Summer After.
Oh yeah,
Um, because Lover, in my opinion, seems very like nostalgic
yeah,
and like Daylight or um I'm trying to think like Cruel Summer, like it
yeah.
really gives Every Summer After vibes to me when she's like reminiscing on like
Mm,
before everything's bad. So that was what made me think of Every Summer After. And then I repeated Funny Story here too, just
mm.
because like that like new love feeling it really reminded me of Funny Story. Yeah, what'd you have?
Okay, love. The first
Thanks.
one's just kind of a joke. It's Carrie Soto is back. I just love that book. But like I just
Wait,
feel
what is
like
it?
Carrie Soto is back. I
Oh,
find it
okay,
just
yeah, I
like
haven't
obviously
finished
like
it.
the man, like the man
Yeah,
literally is about like a tennis player.
wait, I like
And
that.
like
Yeah.
it's about defying that. So I'm like, well,
Isn't tennis in the music video for the man?
that's what I mean. Like the
Yeah,
man is
okay,
literally the
yeah,
music
yeah.
video is like about a
Yeah, okay.
arrogant tennis player. Like yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
my
so
God.
like that one was just like an easy grab.
Yeah.
But then but I also feel like their love is very lover. But
Okay.
I also put One Italian Summer, which is like Rebecca Searles, but have you read it?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
it's
that's good.
she like goes to Italy and she like goes on this journey to try to like meet with her mother. And I think again it's like that nostalgia you brought up, Allie, like of just trying to like get to know people that you never like that you like feel like you've lost like connection with and trying to
Yeah.
find a way to get that connection back. And I think she feels that both like in her relationship, but also both like but her mom who she just lost. And I think Lover is like such a good album because like while it is so like happy and like romantic and like all that, it also really balances all those feelings with the pain and
Yeah.
the hardship that you also go through because you love someone, whether that's like a relative or like a significant other or a friend. And I
Yeah.
think One Italian Summer really does that good. It's like such a romance, but it's also such a punch in the gut for emotion.
Yeah.
So raw that I think that like, and that's how like all of Rebecca Searles books I feel like are. but I think One Italian Summer really spoke to me for this one.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
then I
that's
also put This Summer Will Be Different. But that one is more so just because I'm like, I love that book and I think it's so lover. Like it's just such a happy little
yeah.
romance. But that's another Carly Fortune book. So yeah.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
those. Okay, well, folklore. I basically just, I mean, yeah, I think all of these will connect to most of the songs, but
Yeah.
folklore, my favorite song is Last Great American Dynasty. So I feel like when I was picking these, yeah, I mean, you know what, that's gonna be on it. But I very much had that song in mind
Yeah.
for the books I picked. Great Big Beautiful Life. It's all
Yeah.
about, yeah, like it's just, I mean, that's what literally Emily Henry said was in her head when she wrote Great Big Beautiful Life. So no explanation needed there. But also, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I very much saw as folklore coded, which I could see that one for like all the songs, but like obviously Last Great American Dynasty like really reminds me of like how she was like a legend, almost at that point.
Mhm.
And then I wanted to throw in Malibu Rising.
Ooh, yeah.
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 Same reasons like that family history and kind of confronting everything that's happened to them. And yeah, I don't know. Something about it was very Malibu Rising coded to me.
Okay. Wait, I love that.
Thanks.
For me, I put Great Big Beautiful World, obviously.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, that was just a
Yeah.
grab.
Yeah.
And then so like moving on. I also put Little Women in folklore. I think Little Women is like very folklore coded. When you're
Yeah.
young, they assume you know nothing, like all about like growing up and like really like that dichotomy of like trying to like find your way in the world, but also like trying to find love, but also just being like a woman in general. And I think Little Women and folklore both play on that so well. So that's what I put there.
That's so sweet. Wait, the when you are young, they assume you know nothing also reminds me of Nina Rivas so much in Malibu Rising. Because
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wait, okay, that's so good. I really like that.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Mid or wait, no, Evermore. Um, Evermore, okay. I'm gonna be so real. Beach Read is not my favorite of the Emily Henry books.
Fair.
'Cause Gus is just so sad.
Yeah.
Like he's just
Yeah.
so sad. And I think I found that hard to read.
Okay.
So Evermore is just like very, I mean, Evermore has the song where it's like, I had to feel like this pain would be forevermore. And that just really reminds me of Gus for a majority of the book.
Yeah. Fair.
So,
Fair.
uh, but other than that, though, like I don't know, Evermore vibes, like Gold Rush kind of reminds me of when they're like going on like January's cute dates and stuff. And then I don't know, like I feel like Evermore goes back and forth between like happy and sad moments really well. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of how that book was. It was kind of an emotional roller coaster. Like he'd go on, which I still liked it. It's just like of the guys, Gus I found very hard to like But yeah, I feel like you'd go to a really happy moment when you were on January's dates, and then you'd go to like this really like sad kind of jarring thing they did for Jan or for Gus's dates. So I don't know, that kind of gave ever more energy to me. But Where the Crawdads Sing
I
also
had that
gives
too. I had
Evermore. Okay, yeah. Like I think he did it, but I just can't prove it. Or just in general, though, all of Evermore's songs really remind me of
that.
the whole energy of Where the Crawdads Sing. And then just for this song alone is for Marjorie, it really gave Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo to me. Kind
Oh,
of when
yeah.
I could see it with Monique trying to piece together like her father's life after her father was gone and understanding how much she didn't know about him or like, dealing with him being gone. But also I feel like it could be like Monique piecing together Evelyn's life as she's learning about it. And on the other side, Evelyn um dealing with all the people she's lost and like in
Yeah.
her head they're still alive to her. That's kind of how I saw that.
Wait, I love that. That's so beautiful.
Thanks.
Well, for everyone, obviously, put Where the Crawdads Sing, that was an easy one. Um,
Yeah.
And then I also put Before the Coffee Gets Cold, because
Oh,
like
I
it's
wanted
all
to read
about
that.
like going to this like cafe and then like
Mhm.
you're kind of like watching as like time like moves on and like you're like going back in these memories. And I think that's very right where you left me coded. And also
Yeah.
it's time to go, like realizing that you have to leave the past behind to continue forward with the present. And so like I think it's like that Evermore is like very much a dichotomy of all that.
Yeah.
Maybe this is another hot take, but I put Malibu Rising in Evermore.
Okay,
Yeah.
as I was saying
Yeah.
it, I was starting to think Malibu Rising fits.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I put it in Evermore. I also think it really ties well with Champagne Problems, but I also think it ties really well in with Long Story Short and also Coney Island, like that whole idea of
Yeah.
leaving people behind, but like again like trying to like find a way out to get to your future, but like the
Yeah.
past is always like tugging you in a different direction.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be pulling you backwards in a way. I think like Mick Riva just like as a father and like their whole like family dynamic, and like I felt like Nina very much like I just see a lot of this like for her. And so I
Yeah.
think like when she finally like flies like off and like gets on the plane and like at the end of the book and she's like leaving
Yeah.
behind. I think that's very much like Coney Island and just like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I
It
just
also reminds me of It's Time to Go. Like her siblings,
yes,
are like, you've taken care of us your whole life. Let's
exactly.
like,
Like it's time
time
for
we do
you to like
better.
choose you and
Yeah.
like even like
Yeah.
being stuck in this relationship with this man that cheated on her and like
Yeah.
finally like letting that go and like all of that stuff. Like it's just like I think her character growth is very Evermore coded.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's why I put her.
Where is the Malibu Rising? Because Malibu Rising's been adapted for a show
Yeah.
on Hulu.
Hmm.
Where's the news on that?
I know.
Because we keep getting
What's the
snippets of
status?
Evelyn Hugo,
Yeah.
but like I want to know about Malibu Rising too.
Right? I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
But
Okay, I love those picks.
yeah.
Midnight's. I mean, Midnight just screams Daisy Jones in the Six to me.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, Maroon is such like a nostalgic song and seeing the good and the bad of a maybe past
Yeah.
relationship, past friendships. And I think that just reminds me of every single one of the Daisy Jones characters when they're sitting in the chair for the documentary and they're recounting their lives. You're on Your Own, Kid. I could so see Daisy Jones relating to that.
Yeah.
Um, High Infidelity, like
Yes.
all really fit Daisy Jones to me. Okay, and then this one, I think I'm maybe the only person who's ever read it. I don't know if you read it. You should. It's the cutest book. I read it like 6 years ago, and I still have it like on like big display in my um bookcase. It's called Again But Better. I don't know if you read it. It's
Mhm.
so cute. You should look it up. It's by Christine I'm trying to read Riccio maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so cute. It's basically this girl feels like to a certain extent with her life, things never went how she wanted. She was doing everything everybody else's way. And then she gets this chance to kind of get a do-over, and do what she wants is kind of what it's about,
Mhm.
without getting too heavily into the plot. And that was just so Midnight Rain coded to me.
Love.
Um, so like everything, like all of me changed like Midnight Rain. It reminds me of that. So read that book. It's so good. And it's just
Oh,
it's a fun vibe. Like, and the twist of something that happens, I don't remember if it happens early on or maybe at least a third of the book in. It takes you a second to kind of realize what happens, and then it's
yeah.
really cool. So I'd read that book.
Yeah. Okay, love.
Yeah.
Well, for minutes, I also put Daisy Jones in the six,
Yeah.
literally for all the reasons you said. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like so that. And then I put inheritance games on here. A little bit of
Ooh.
an obvious from the lyrics of Mastermind, like moving the chess pieces, like but
Yeah.
also I feel like she's very much like anti-hero. Also again, very obvious, like the well. Like obviously it's about a well and then being like putting in the well. But I think just overall, like the character is like going through a lot of the angst that like Midnight's is about and like a lot of like the trying to figure things out and trying to always be one step ahead, but like sometimes you just can't be one step ahead. Like love is like so unpredictable. And so I think like it's Midnight's is a lot of like that like back and forth of like those feelings and trying
Yeah.
again, like even like Dear Reader, I feel like it's very much like she wants to have all the answers, but she's admitting like I don't have all the answers. Like don't trust me, I'm an unreliable narrator. I think the Inheritance Games is like very much like that. And I also put Book Lovers on here again. I know I had that for
Ooh,
playlist, but I feel like Book Lovers is like very much like Nora is very much like an anti-hero.
I
She sees
like
herself as
that.
that, and again, like she sees herself as the unreliable narrator. I think she has a lot of distrust for herself, which she learns to like really pick up like throughout the book and throughout her growth. And so I think like that growth, I see that on Midnights. I also feel like Lavender Haze is very book lovers. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, I like that. I also, as you were talking about Dear Reader and an unreliable narrator, that really reminds me of Great Big Beautiful Life when they're like,
Yes.
I can't tell when she's telling me the truth or when she's
Yes.
not. Yeah, I like those. Okay. Tortured Poets Department. I okay. The one that immediately came to mind. I sound like I'm such a hater of this book. Like I genuinely did like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just of all the relationships, this one was hard for me to get behind.
Fair, fair.
Beach read. And then
Yeah.
in parentheses, I put Gus is so tortured.
Oh, tortured poet.
That's
It's
literally
so
most
funny.
of the reasoning I have. It's just, I think January has that very like cheery disposition, and
Yeah.
that just reminded me of the song Tortured Poets Department, like where she was like, very optimistic of everything, but then she starts to see like, oh, like maybe this relationship would have its hurdles and stuff, and that for
Yeah.
some reason reminds me a lot of Beach Read. Gosh, I didn't have any more for Tortured Poets, but I'm trying to think back through the rest of these. I don't know. Okay, I'm dying to know your thoughts because I think I was struggling. Tortured Poets goes into so much. So I'd love to know what you thought. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I put normal people on here because like
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
just like
Yeah. It's crazy we haven't normal people yet.
like
Wait,
I
that's
feel
good.
like there's no words that need to be said. It's so Fortnite. It's so down bad. It's so but daddy, I love it. It's so fresh with the humor. It's so guilty of sin. It's so I can fix him. No, really I can't. It's just so everything that I'm like, yeah, like there's just no need to
Yeah.
explain. So there's that one. Um,
Good.
and
Yeah.
then I put Love in Other Words
I want to read
because
that so bad.
so
Yeah.
good. I love Christina and Lauren.
I
This
was mind blown when I realized they were two different people.
well, I was just gonna say we got pitched an interview with them and
Yeah.
the PR said that they were like one person and I was like, oh, so we know they're two. They're two people.
They're
It's
actually
not
two.
just one. It's Christina and Lauren. So, but yeah, so I love their books. So I feel like Lemon and the Words
Yeah.
is very LOML, like a loss of my life.
Oh.
But like overall, I just think there's a lot of songs and a lot of like inks in that book that I can really like pay tribute to Torture Poets Department. And so I feel
Yeah.
like that's like very well connected. And then again, maybe this one's kind of crazy to put on the list, but I did anyways. Sunrise on the Reef. And like
God, when you were talking about anti-hero, I was like, anti-hero's kind of Katniss coded.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I think Sunrise on the Reaping, it's just a lot of like near the end, like self-blame. And I feel
Okay.
like Portrait Poet Department, there's a lot of like self-blame and like the
Yeah.
and like they messed up, but you also messed up. And just like I feel like Lenore Dove and his relationship is just like so but daddy, I love him and like just so
Oh,
fresh out the
you read.
slammer.
Yeah.
And just like there's a lot of just like I think like Torture Poetry Department to me is just like such pure love, but there's like other things interfering with that.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
exactly what I was
Sunrise on the Reaping is just such because at the core, I don't think Sunrise of the Reaping is seen as a romance, but to me, at its core, it truly is. Like Lenore Dove leads Hamish's decisions, whether she's right
Oh,
beside him or not, like so much, and like his love for her is like so guiding to him as like a source of morality almost that I think like we even see that like in stories where Hamish like is by himself. Like we still like in the Hunger Games and stuff like that. Like I think knowing who Lenore Dove is now, we see so much of her in him still that I think
Mhm.
like that's very like tortured poets department.
Oh, I love that. I need to read Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yes.
Sounds
Gotta.
so good.
You
Oh
gotta.
my God. Um, damn. Okay, those are good. I liked all
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Well,
I think we've reached the end.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
Taylor drop TS12 sometime soon and we'll come back with
we'll
more.
refresh this, right? Exactly. I know.
We'll circle back.
Yeah.
But okay, I think that's it. We
We
let
should
us know if you
one
have
day do characters that remind us of Taylor Swift albums.
stop.
Like,
I so will. Wait.
yes.
Oh my God, wait. Can we?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Ep-
We'll start cooking
Episode
that up.
3 of season 2. Stay
Yeah.
tuned. That might be a
Stay tuned.
topic.
We're gonna cook.
Yeah. We'll come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let us know
Yeah.
who you what books you pieced to what Taylor song, or if you want us to do this with any other artists.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time, girly pops. This was fun.
It's fun. The Who.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.